All right, the rumblings are starting to get louder and louder up in New England. Something that seemed completely inconceivable just 2 short years ago seems to be picking up steam and could actually be happening by the end of this season. Robert Kraft reportedly furious, extremely disappointed at the current state of the Patriots and the future direction they're heading, and something that seemed unimaginable could actually happen. Robert Kraft apparently considering firing Bill Belichick. Yes, what many consider to be the greatest head coach of all time, the architect of the greatest dynasty in the history of the NFL, 6 Super Bowl wins. He's just 29 wins away from the most head coaching wins all time, sitting at 299 currently. But Kraft is getting up there in age, and he wants to win another one before his time comes. And Bill Belichick seems to be getting old and outdated. Now, there are many out there that say Bill's earned the right. Like, when you construct a dynasty like he did in New England, you win 6 Super Bowls, you're considered the greatest all time. You've earned the right to go out on your own terms. But Robert Kraft, reportedly, according to The Athletic, is not a believer in that philosophy. He wants change, and he wants change now. And this all has just started like the breakup with Brady. We talked about, is it Belichick, is it Brady? It's both. It's really looking like it might have been Tom Brady, just the greatest quarterback of all time. Now, don't get me wrong, those defenses carried several of those Super Bowls. Their most recent one in 2018 against the Rams, that was a defensive dominant performance, and that's their last playoff win, and that's the biggest problem. Brady left in 2020, and Bill is just 26-29 since Brady has left the Patriots. 1 playoff appearance, no playoff wins, got absolutely shellacked by the Bills in the playoffs. But this is coming at a fever pitch. Back-to-back blowout losses, the 2 worst losses of Bill Belichick's head coaching career, 30-plus point defeats in back-to-back weeks. It looks like this team could be the worst team in the league. They have no talent on this team whatsoever. Their best players are hurt in Judon and Gonzalez. The offense is anemic. And this is the problem. It feels like Bill Belichick has gotten stuck in his old man ways a little bit. Now, he is the second oldest coach in the NFL at 71 years old and the longest tenured head coach in the NFL. And that could be part of the problem. This offense is old, archaic. It's not new, hip, and fun. Look at all the fun new offenses, young offensive minds being brought in, changing things up. And Bill just seems to have a trust issue. He likes to go with his guys that he trusts, and they're just not good. I mean, look at the Tom Brady merchant, Josh McDaniels, who they do play this upcoming week. They're going to try and get a win. His longtime offensive coordinator, he's been horrendous as a head coach, just not good. It just doesn't work, and he kind of has a talented offensive team in Vegas. Say what you want. I mean, Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, both awesome. Jimmy G is not a terrible quarterback. Now, he missed a game or two, but beyond that, Josh McDaniels is a terrible head coach. And this is the thing. Kraft is getting way up there in age. He wants to get back to the winning ways. Now, he does like to brag like he was a Patriots fan when this team was the dumpster of the NFL. They were the Cleveland Browns for a long time. This is a franchise that honestly was not good or any sort of relevant until Bill Parcells stepped in the 90s and they got them to that Super Bowl against Brett Favre and the Packers. And we know kind of what happened after that. They've turned into the greatest dynasty, maybe in professional sports in the United States or North America as a whole. But Kraft wants to win, and I don't blame him. I could easily see him saying, Bill, you got to go. Maybe if it's not a firing, it's kind of like, hey, you got to get out the door. And if you're Bill, why not? It seems like Bill is very, very hungry to go get this coaching record. He wants to be known as the winningest head coach in NFL history. And I don't know where he's getting 29 wins with this Patriots team. They're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. Now, maybe it turns out okay if they're the worst team in the league and they land themselves Caleb Williams, who seems to be, he's going to be a transcendent quarterback in this league very, very quickly. That could be the move, and maybe Kraft gives him a little time. But why would Kraft trust him to develop this new quarterback? Maybe he ships his ass out of town and he brings in a whole new regime to try and get it started again. I mean, he's whiffed on the Mac Jones pick. Mac looks terrible. They whiff on a lot of offensive picks. Julian Edelman talked about it this week. Longtime Patriot. Bill's got to trust some guys. He's got to update his offensive scouting because they've been horrible. He talked about when he was there and they would draft guys, they would be whiffs. Now, Bill locks it down on the defense. He always knows how to find the diamond in the rough, but he has too much roster control and power these days, and sometimes that happens. You lose it, and you hate to see the times go by a coach as great as Bill Belichick. It's kind of tarnishing his legacy. Some people have floated out there, maybe Bill heads over to LA. You retire in Los Angeles. The Chargers are a stacked roster with a bonehead goof head coach. Maybe he takes over. You pay Kellen Moore like the associate head coach, keep him around to keep that team chugging, and Bill knocks out his 29 wins before he retires. Because anybody who says Bill isn't obsessed about getting this record really doesn't know. Bill is about winning. He's only cared about winning Super Bowls. He only cares about winning games. He wants that wins record. So situation could be getting very, very spicy in New England. Kraft knows the Patriots are not the sexy team anymore. Everybody's all in on the Celtics. The Patriots are kind of an afterthought now. Their season feels already over just 5 games in. They won 18 straight seasons with double-digit wins. That's insane. An NFL record. But guess what? They've only had 1 double-digit win since then. It's just crazy to think about how deep of a turn, how far they've fallen with losing Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but man, Bill has completely botched this situation. He's tarnished his legacy to a certain extent. I mean, people are not going to look fondly on how this thing is going to end. And why not? If you're Robert Kraft, pull the plug. You ultimately win. You were on Brady's side in the beginning. You never wanted him to go. He left. Why not get the ultimate stick you to Bill and hand him that pink slip? So it's an interesting situation to be monitoring up in New England. Like I said, the Patriots got Vegas this week. God knows that the Patriots can score more than 6 points. They haven't done it the last 2 weeks. So it's a tall, tall task. Things could get very, very ugly here very, very quickly. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Has Bill earned the right to keep his job? Should Kraft fire him? What about moving on to a new team? I know he's 71 years old, going to be 72 heading into next season. Maybe he starts fresh with a stacked roster and goes for those wins. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Share this video with your friends. If you want to help the channel out more, click that join button, sign up for the channel memberships. It really helps me out a lot. Lets me keep making these awesome content for you guys every single day. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.